CR 3640 State versus Aisha Esparza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
I can go with the state.
Martin Guerra, attorney for Aisha Esparza.
And are you Ms. Esparza?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Aisha Esparza who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 3640 for the offense of retaliation on August 5th, 2020 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Violation of condition number 2, on or about the 31st day of December 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Aisha Esparza did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court supervision officer and or duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. We waive and abandon the remainder, sir.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find you true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2? Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. The state is asking and a sentence of 2 years.
Okay. And defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're respectfully asking that you follow the recommendation of probation, which was to deny the state's motion, continue her on a deferred an extension of 2 years. They're recommending a 90-day jail sanction. That's the one thing that we differ on. We are hoping that she'd be able to do a GPS monitor, partial house arrest, so she'll either be at work or at home. Additionally, I can tell you, the recommendation from probation was also alternate amend to add the drug patch for 9 months, zero tolerance probation, ISP for 1 year, then supervised by HRC unit, MRT class, healthy relationships class, and that she will report by person for all future visits.
All right. So any objections to the court review and the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, they send it to me by email. I just don't look at it until people tell me it's okay. So let me look. All right. What I can tell everybody, the fact that probation is saying they want a 90-day jail sanction, that tells me that they really don't want to continue you, right? So what I am going to have to find out from you is why you're not doing well on probation. And it appears from looking at the probation is that there's some issues with marijuana use. I know that neither party is going on that, so I'm not accepting that as true, but I'm just telling you what appears to be going on. So you want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give would be the truth, that nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Aisha Esparza.
All right, why are you not doing well on probation?
I had a bad time in 2022 and made some bad decisions, Your Honor.
Why are you making bad decisions when you know you could go to prison for 10 years?
I was suffering from marijuana, from alcoholism.
All right, so let me just tell you, that's really not a good reason to come to me with that. You know why? Because I always ask everybody if they have any issues, they can let probation know they're having issues or come to me if they feel as though probation is not addressing those issues.
I understand that.
So
And I did make a mistake.
well, no, you made choices because everybody knows you're not allowed to use marijuana while you're on probation. If you decide to use marijuana while you're on probation, you're making choices. If there is an addiction involved, for example, if you're on probation and you're using cocaine, yeah, you're making a choice, but I understand that sometimes people are addicted, right? So in this court, I always tell people, if you feel as though you're going to use, if you feel as there's an issue, let probation know. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm going to use cocaine today. Cocaine is calling my name. I'm not going to be able to stop. I'm going to use it. I always tell them, let probation know. And then what I will do is probation will have you come in here because your attorney will tell you I've had compliance hearings and it's what can we do to get you back on track? You understand? And I'm looking at the court summary. You've been missing in action. Where have you been?
Nervous.
I don't know. Don't be nervous. I mean, I can easily say don't be nervous. I understand why you're nervous because you're looking at 10 years in prison. So I'm trying to figure out where have you been? Because I'm looking at the court summary.
I'm scared to turn myself in, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I just started a job in July of 2022 and I went to counseling. I was diagnosed with bipolar depression. I got on medications until I was pregnant in February of 2023. I've been doing good since. I was just scared to turn myself in.
Well, that's a problem. All right. Anyone else has any other questions?
Your Honor, if I may.
And then, and also counsel, if you can see on the court summary, the issues with her doing Zoom office visits, if you can also address that as well.
Yes, sir. I can ask you some questions.
Sure.
Now you talked about the substance abuse. You talked about the mental health issues. But I'm just curious, do you dispute the descriptions? I mean, did we get a chance to go through this court summary in detail?
Yes.
And you recall those descriptions of your interactions with probation on Zoom?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have, let me ask you this, was it a false representation of what happened?
No.
And do you think that that interaction at the time, was that, well, are you the same person that you were then?
No.
I mean, you mentioned a couple of things that changed. One was getting your job, and then it was the medication as well.
Yeah.
When you got the job, that was at South Texas Podiatry. And Your Honor, I do have letters printed out. These letters are from one of the primary physicians at South Texas Podiatry. I've already shared these with
Any
you.
objection?
No objection, Judge.
And another letter is from Lisa Bing, the area manager at South Texas Podiatry. And a third letter from her cousin.
All right. Let me read this. And just so state is aware, I did have the defense counsel send this to me because it was in his phone to print it out, but I didn't read any of it. Okay.
Right.
So, and are these letters that the defendant provided to you?
Yes, sir. To be clear, I'm not asking for the state to withdraw the motion and issue a letter of apology. She knows full well that she made those bad choices, and that's why she's here today. But I think when you read the descriptions from the court summary talking about her disorderly appearance and her behavior, it is a completely opposite from what you can hear in the letters reflected from her employer. I mean, she has basically turned her life around totally in terms of not having any issues with drugs or alcohol. She's completely willing to be tested today and come up clean. She has basically been able to not only get gainfully employed, but make a difference at the practice where she works to such an extent that they, quite frankly, were worried that if anything were to happen, if she were to get locked up, that the practice would suffer. And I think that's reflected in the letters. They did not know about all of her legal problems until more recently. But again, they were surprised to hear about it because of the type of person, how she conducts herself. She's made arrangements, Your Honor, in the event that she weren't going to be extended on probation under deferred adjudication. Made arrangements for her kids. But at the same time, I do think that the community's interests would best be served, though, if she were to be held accountable and sanctioned, but also strictly supervised. I mean, fortunate for her, she's not a seasoned veteran, has many encounters with the criminal courts. I think she has one prior deferred misdemeanor case. But I think she knows right now how serious everything is. And again, what happened back in 21 and 22, I think is more a product of her lack of mental health treatment, her lack of any type of treatment for her substance abuse that she had with alcohol and marijuana. And you are correct. She could have asked for that help, but she spoke honestly today. She got there, especially after February of 2023 is when she was mostly scared about being taken away from her newborn. Again, Your Honor, you can strictly supervise her, you can hold her accountable, but you can also serve the community's interests by making sure she doesn't make these mistakes. She's completely amenable to doing a strict period of supervision. In fact, we spoke already about many of the different conditions which you could add, in addition to the ones that are being recommended by probation, whether it's field visits or, weekly meetings, a patch, drug testing. I mean, any of those things, I think you would see that she is not the same person that she was back in 2020, 2021, and 2022. It's been a complete turnaround. And I just think that I would hate to see a situation where she is removed from her home. And now we have, kids without their mom. We have a young woman that's going to lose her home.
Well, I will tell you this. If you end up getting revoked and going to prison, it's completely your fault. You understand? And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? All right. I want a drug test today. She's going to go to, you have your ID? All right. You're going to go do your drug test today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. I required that she do a UA, and Miss Abrams informed me that the UA was negative. Is that correct?
That's
So,
I think I'd also add that the staff there at the lab did compliment her on how quickly she arrived.
okay. Well, it's only, is it 5 minutes away?
Well, I think the issue was that they said so many times their individuals get ordered and they don't appear until an hour, 2 hours later. I guess the implication being that they're trying to cleanse their system. But
All right. So this is on this case. At the last setting, I believe there was no objection to the court reviewing the court summary. So we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2020 CR 3640 State of Texas versus Aisha Esparza. Can I have parties announced for the record? State,
probably for the state.
defense,
Martin Guerra.
and you're Miss Esparza.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So when we were here, the court had ordered her to take a UA, and that was on March 27th. She took a UA, and now we're back here today. She had previously entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 2. The court found it true. And State, I believe your recommendation was for her to be continued.
The judge at the time it was for revocation, but given her compliance with court's order for the UA, we would ask that you deny the state's motion of contempt.
Okay. Anything you wish to say, counsel?
Your Honor, that's exactly what we hoped, just to deny the state's motion, continue her. I stand by what I said last time we were here.
All right. I understand her issues, but she has been missing. So I will tell you that according to the court summary, they're asking for a 90-day Bexar County Jail sanction. She does need to sometimes, probation. Yeah. It's about rehabilitation. People are hoping that you be rehabilitated, but there's punishment that's thrown in there as well. So here's the thing. You have a choice. I can find you guilty. I'll continue on probation, but you're going to have, this will be a conviction on your record, or you can do 60 days at the Bexar County Jail as a condition. And that starts today.
Any possibility of ankle monitor, Your Honor?
No. Those are your only two choices. Either you're found guilty today and you will be placed on regular probation with a felony conviction, or either I will continue on deferred, you're going to get extended, and you're going to the Bexar County Jail for 60 days. Those are your two choices, because sometimes people need to be punished. And that's your punishment. Your punishment is either going to be a guilty verdict or it's going to be 60 days in the Bexar County Jail. And there is no time to think about it for, oh, let me get my affairs in order. I'm going to do the 60 days. No, something's going to happen with this case today.
Your Honor, I understand you have a panel that's on its way up here.
No. Do you need to discuss it with her?
That's what I want to do, just a couple
Sure.
minutes.
Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is it's going to be 60 days in the Bexar County Jail. I'm going to extend you for 2 years. ISP, and there's to be, until accepted, you're to be supervised by the HRC unit, which is high risk. The MRT class. And you will need to report in person to probation. And that's until further notice. Council will see how things are going, and that may change.
Yes, Your Honor.
Probation, is there anything else you're requesting?
Not bad.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're welcome. So here, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're looking at prison time. You're on deferred. So you're looking at the full term if you're revoked. I'm not saying if you're revoked, that's what I would give, but the full term is available. So you're going to have to step up and do better. Otherwise, you may end up going to prison.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right. And I appreciate the fact that you have done things, even though you didn't report, you were doing things to better yourself. So good luck.
10 days I already did.
Yeah, Your Honor, one question.
Mhm.
She did serve 10 days on this MTR.
No, none of that will count. It's punishment.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.